Welcome to another video from Tip. In this video, we will be learning how to make a command line executable using C programming language. Before starting the session, we can try to understand what a command line executable is. Command line executable is nothing but any executable which can be run using command prompt. Here I have opened desktop folder and we can see that it's empty. Now we can try to create a folder inside desktop using command line. For that, we can just open command prompt for this path, and then we can use mkdir executable. Here mkdir command is a command which we can use for creating folders. So mkdir, and we have to give the folder path. So I will be giving my folder and we can give enter. So we can close this command prompt and we can see that a folder named my folder is created. So this is the brief on what is command line executable. We have already seen that mkdir my folder will create a folder named my folder in the path where we are executing this command. So here mkdir is the command and my folder is the argument. Now we can make our own command line executable. For that, open Notepad++ or any editor which you prefer. This area of programming is called command line arguments. First we can write a command line executable which will display the command as well as the argument which user provides. For that we will create a new file and we will save it as display arguments. Now we can start writing the program. The only header file which we have to include is standard input-output header file. Now we can write the main function int main, and there are two arguments which we have to pass to main function. One is an integer and another is an array of character pointers. So we will name it as argc as a standard way, and the second argument is an array of character pointer. We will name it as argv. When we execute a command line executable, the main function will be called by passing two arguments. The first argument will be the number of arguments which the user gave, including the command itself. And the next argument will be an array of character pointer. And each element of this array will be having a pointer which will point to the memory where all the arguments are saved as string. Using this program, we will try to display all the arguments user gave, including the command itself. And also we will try to print the memory where the arguments are saved. For that, we will iterate using a for loop through all the arguments to print it. For iterating, we have to declare an integer, int I. Now for I equal to 0, I less than the number of arguments argc and I plus plus. So here we are going to iterate for I from 0 till argc minus 1. So now we have to print the arguments. So we will print all the arguments in order. So all the arguments are saved as string. So we have to print it using %s. So %s is the format specifier for strings. %s, and next we have to print the address where it is saved. For that we will be using %x, and in bracket we will be printing the integer value as well. So here %x is the format specifier for hex and %d for integer. So %x, s will print the string, and this area will print the address where it is saved in both hex as well as integer. Now we have to give the arguments. So argv of I, and then the same, the address we have to give there as well. Argv of I in hex and same in integer as well. So now we are done with our program. Now the next step is to compile the program and build the executable. Before that, save the program and then go to the folder where the program is saved. The compiler which I use is GCC compiler. The link to the video which will help you out to install that is added in the description. For compiling, we have to open command prompt in this path. Then we have to give the command gcc, then the file name, then the output file name. So output file name can be the command name. We can give ptr arg. So now we can close the command prompt and we can see that the application is built. Now we have to make this command recognizable for Windows. For that, we have to add this path to environment variable list in Windows. For that, we have to copy the path to this folder where the command is there. Then open Properties, go to Advanced System Settings, then under Environment Variable, find Path. So double click and open the path, go to end of the path, give a semicolon, then paste the path which we have copied and save it. Now it's time for us to test the command. For that, open command prompt and then give the command ptr_arg. This is the command which we created. Then give the argument which you like. Now I will write I love coding and then give enter. Here we can see that all the arguments are printed with the addresses where it is saved as string. So the first argument is ptr_arg, which is the command itself, then I, then love, and then coding. We can try another command, ptr_arg, then this world is beautiful. See, here we have given 4 arguments and including the command itself there are 5. So the same things are printed here as well. The command, all the arguments and all the addresses in hex as well as the integer. So the way to provide the arguments are with a space. So when we are giving a space, the argument will be taken as different. To give an argument with space, we have to give the argument in double inverted commas. We can give that. So the above command itself we can use. For that, ptr_arg, this world is beautiful. So we can see that the second argument came as single argument because we gave it in a double inverted commas. Now we can try to make a command which will find sum of all the integers which user gives us argument. For that, open Notepad++ or any editor which you prefer. Create a new program. Save it. Now I will save it as sum_int_arg.c. We can start writing the program. First, we have to include the header file. So here we are going to include standard input output header file. Then we will write the main function int main, then int argc, then char star argv. Now in the main function we will declare two variables. One is int I and another variable is sum, and we will initialize sum variable as 0. We will use for loop to iterate through all the arguments and find out the sum. So for I equals 0, I less than argc, I plus plus, then sum equals, in the for loop we will find the sum and add it to the previous sum. So sum equal to sum plus argv of I. Here there is a problem. Here argv is a string, so we have to convert the string to an integer. So we can use a function add to I for that. So add to I of argv of I. Here we used a new library function which is not part of standard input output header file. The header file which add to I is part of is the standard library, so we have to include that header file as well. So hash include stdlib.h. So now we have calculated the sum out of the argument which user gave. Now we have to display it to the screen. For that we can use printf. Printf sum equal to %ld/n, comma, then we have to give the sum. Now our program is complete. Let's compile and build the command. For that, open command prompt and give gcc, then the file name, then -o and the output file name. The compilation is complete, the command is built, and now we can see that the application is ready. Let's test the command. For that, open command prompt, then give sum_int_arg and argument which you like. So we will give 1, 2, 3 and 4. So the sum of 1, 2, 3 and 4 is 10. So sum is printed as 10. Now we can give some other arguments, 1, 2, 3 and 4, 5, 6. So we can see the sum is calculated. Now we can try some other arguments which are not an integer. So 1, 2, 3, then we will give ABC. So we can see that ABC is ignored. We will use only the integer. Let's try decimal number as well. See here 1, 2, 3, then we will give 1.23. So we can see that the sum is 1 to 4. That means from the decimal number only the integer part is taken and added. Now let's open the previous program, display argument.c. In this program we can make a small change and print all the argument without using the variable argc. Yes, without using argc we can find the number of arguments user gave. For that we have to use argv. Here argv is an array of character pointer. Each element of argv hold pointer to a memory where each argument is stored. Here the length of array argv is n plus 1, where n is the number of commands user gave including the command. The last element in the array argv is kept null so that it indicates the end of the argument list. As the last element of argv is null, we can make use of this element to find end of the argument list. Let's modify the code. Here, the condition to end this loop is I less than argc. We can modify this to argv of I. So when argv of I becomes null, we will end this loop. Let's save the program, compile it and build it. Open the folder, open command prompt, give gcc display arguments -o, then ptr underscore arg, we will give an underscore 1. We can close the command prompt. Now we can see the application is ready. Let's test the command. Open command prompt and give ptr underscore arg underscore 1. Then we can give a b c d e f and give enter. See, we can see that the command is working in the same manner as previous command. So we can make use of this property of argv to find the number of arguments and end the loop. This is end of this video. If you have any doubts, you can ask that in comment section, and thanks for watching.